Good day, everyone. Welcome to Post-Roe Show. I'm Nicholas Check.
I'm Becca Compton.
And today we'll be reviewing pro-choice TikToks. So, it's Christmas time. It's great. It's cold outside. We still haven't got snow. And
I'm cozy.
It's getting me down. I'm not one of those global warmists like, oh no, the world is really getting hot. But we haven't had snow yet, so.
No, I wish.
Yeah.
I want it to snow.
Yeah, I could really use some. Maybe if we just stop driving our cars, we can have a little snow. So, for Christmas, Beck and I put together our own lists of TikToks we found of whether they be arguments or just kind of crazy TikToks we found online that we thought would be fun to share with each other.
Yep.
And we'll just watch them. We'll talk about them and see if we can make some logic out of them.
Yep. maybe a little bit.
All right. Well, we'll go.
We'll start with mine.
Start with yours. We'll start with your first one.
Okay. Oh, this one.
I'm not pro-murdering babies. I'm pro-Becky, who found out at her 20-week anatomy scan that the infant she'd been so excited to bring into this world had developed without life-sustaining organs. I'm pro-Susan, who was sexually assaulted on her way home from work, only to come to the horrific realization that her assailant planted his seed in her when she got a positive pregnancy test result a month later. I'm pro-Teresa, who hemorrhaged due to a placental abruption, causing her parents, spouse, and children to have to make the impossible decision whether to save her or her unborn child. I'm pro-little Kathy, who had her innocence ripped away from her by someone she should have been able to trust, and her 11-year-old body isn't mature enough to bear the consequences of that betrayal. I'm pro-Melissa, who's been working...
Okay, for starters, he says he's not pro-abortion. Yes, you are. That's the first thing he goes on and says. And he talks about how he's pro-Kathy and Melissa. And but you can be pro-them without being pro-abortion. But you're talking about abortion here. So yes, you are pro-abortion. So we can start there at least. Examples he gives. He mentions I can't remember whatever name he gave for who was sexually assaulted. I was listening to a talk earlier, and they were talking about that, and this lady who had been conceived in rape was asking questions about it, and what the guy was talking to her about was your value is not based on if your parents loved each other when you were conceived. He's like, your parents could both hate each other, and then you're conceived, and you're still worth equally as much as anybody else, whether you're born or unborn. So there, right at the get-go, it's not like it's not a terrible thing. Sexual assault is a horrendous thing.
It's a horrendous thing.
However, that would not justify the abortion. There would be other methods you can go about. And he mentioned the one where the baby was developed at 20 weeks without life-sustaining organs.
Yes, that's a natural. If your baby dies a natural way, that is not abortion.
Correct.
Even the one that's in the fallopian tube, where that's where it planted instead of where it's supposed to be, that baby more than likely will die naturally, not by abortion and stuff. And typically during those, they don't perform an abortion on the baby. They just remove it. They remove an already passed away child. They don't take it apart limb by limb forcefully. It dies naturally.
Miscarriage is like what you like is not the same as abortion. The difference is intent. If somebody dies, let's say somebody dies in a car crash, it's a terrible thing. But that's not evil like if somebody was intentionally hit on the side of the road with a car.
Yes.
One, you intentionally killed them. One was an accident. So
there's a complete difference between the two.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah. I do think it's funny that he starts off with, well, I'm not a pro-abortion. Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are.
All
you
right,
just don't want to sound bad.
Let's try this one. This one's good.
There is a war on women. Just like in The Handmaid's Tale, women today are being forced to become pregnant. Just saying, we are literally living in the exact world Margaret Atwood described. And so it is clear that we need to take pregnancy prevention into our own hands. Be responsible, ladies. If you don't want to risk getting pregnant, then don't risk getting pregnant. It's that simple.
I actually agree with her. Not about the Handmaid's Tale thing, and where people are being forcibly becoming pregnant. Most people kind of do that on their own. However, when she says, if you don't want to get pregnant, don't get pregnant. Correct. You can do.
You can prevent getting pregnant.
Yeah.
By not doing the deed.
Exactly. There's this wild form of very, very effective birth control that people don't talk about, which is abstinence.
Abstinence.
It works really well, guys.
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it actually does. Now, so I will agree with her in that way. Right at the end where she says, if you don't want to get pregnant, don't get pregnant. Take precautions. Yes, and those precautions can simply be, don't do the thing that makes babies. She would be correct. So point her. Go her. I feel okay. Side note: do they always bring up the Handmaid's Tale? I feel like
no idea. I've never really heard of that.
Yeah, I feel okay. I feel like I see that everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, and they mentioned the I think it's ridiculous when she says people are being forced to become pregnant. It's first of all, yes, that can happen in certain instances, but that is the underwhelming minority of pregnancies.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's that one's, yeah. Last line. Good on her. All right, let's try this one.
Let's go this one.
I'm not pro-abortion. I'm pro-choice.
Pro-choice for what?
For women to choose what is best for them.
For women to choose abortion.
No. For whether women want to choose whether they have a baby, whether they put up for adoption, whether they have abortion, whatever.
But so you're pro-legal abortion?
Yes.
So you're pro-abortion?
No, I am pro-choice.
I'm anti-legal abortion. So are you pro-legal abortion or are you anti-legal abortion?
I'm pro-legal abortion.
So you're pro-abortion?
That doesn't mean I'm going to run around and say everybody should have an abortion.
No, I didn't say that. But you are okay with abortion existing and happening in the United States of America?
Yes.
So you're pro-abortion?
I think you're twisting my words.
No, I think the reason you don't want to accept that phrase is because saying you're pro-abortion doesn't sound so great.
I mean, I can certainly stand up here and say I'm pro-abortion, but you're just trying to twist my words.
Okay, so you admit you're pro-abortion?
I am pro-abortion.
Okay, thank you.
I am pro-safe legal abortion.
Yep, you're pro-abortion.
Yep.
Okay, great.
That one I just thought was silly.
That's funny. I like Kristen. Kristen's terrific. She's really good at really getting just right to the point, and she doesn't ever back down, which I like that about her.
So many of these comments were with the one lady who was saying she was the one other lady back talking to her.
Like the one who's saying she was not pro-abortion.
She was not pro-abortion, saying in the comments that, you're twisting her words. You're making it. No, she was just standing her point that you're pro-abortion.
Yeah. It's like if Kristen Hawkins is anti-abortion and you oppose Kristen Hawkins' view on abortion, that would mean you're pro-abortion. That's not twisted words. There is if you just I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I get while watching that how you can get kind of confused why Kristen is so just you're pro-abortion, but it's to just prove a point.
Yeah, she's just clarifying.
She's just clarifying that you're pro-abortion and that you want to admit that you're just pro-abortion.
Yeah. If you're for abortion, you can say it. We don't have to play with the words. You can be pro-choice and also be pro-abortion. It's kind of like I would consider myself pro-choice in the sense that there's other options. I know some people who call themselves pro-choice, but they don't support pregnancy resource centers, which would be negating a choice. But I would support that more than my pro-choice friends would support. So I would support one choice while they support another. So I would call myself pro-life, and they can be pro-abortion. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, I think it's funny that she's like, "You're twisting my words." It's like, are you pro-legal abortion? Yes. So you're pro-abortion. You tricky. I saw what you did there. All right, let's do. I like this one.
So today I went to a Christian church and didn't learn a thing about Jesus.
Thank you for taking me. Wow, they put me up front. Yeah, right there. How you doing? See?
Number two, if there's any
I
hope
did
for
learn
America
America has been
it's that
doing
we would
human
stop offending
sacrifices.
God with human sacrifice. In 26 states, Apple, Amazon,
These companies are bad.
Bumble,
They are
I've never heard of
pro-choice.
Bumble. I don't know what that is. Levi's, I'll keep my pants on for now.
You get the gist. But what makes me laugh about here, for starters, try a Catholic church.
Yeah.
I like Catholic churches. I mean, it's a good place to start. Although he points out, like, they're talking about they do human sacrifice, and he's like, they didn't talk at all about Jesus. It's like, well, yes, in that you don't necessarily have to say Jesus. Well, yes, you would. At least if you go to a Catholic church, you'll hear about Jesus.
You'll hear about Jesus.
You'll hear about him during consecration. You'll hear his exact words. However, they mention like all the quote unquote human sacrifice is what they say, which we talked about in our last video. We talked about how abortion really is a form of human sacrifice, because I heard it talked about recently. They were talking about human sacrifice in that it was like the Satanic Temple. They do abortions. And what they were saying is you have to recite like this ritual when you have one of these satanic abortion things. And what you say is like, in this blood, like, I am like free to choose and stuff like that, which in the way you are sacrificing a human life in that your life can be easier. So it is human sacrifice.
It is human sacrifice.
Regardless of what you really think about it, by definition, you take an embryo or a fetus or a baby, whatever you want to call it, which is human, you're getting rid of it. That way you can have something else. You're sacrificing its life. That way, I don't know, you can not pay to raise it for emotional reasons. But it is human sacrifice just of its definition. So, yeah. I think it's funny. It's like they didn't talk about Jesus once. Well, go to a Catholic church then.
Yep.
Here at Holy Family Radio. Then you'll hear all about it. All right.
I'm pro-life, but the only question I can't answer with that is that if I were to have like a daughter that was 13 and got pregnant, I don't know what I would do. But I'm pro-life, so like I wouldn't know how to answer that question to like others. You know?
Bet. Okay. Your value. Is it based on your mom and dad being in love with each other when you were conceived? Nope. If your mom and dad hated each other's guts and you were conceived, that does not change your value as a human being. Okay? If your mother was 14 years old when you were conceived, does that mean you're less valuable than if she would have conceived when she was 24 years of age? No. See, what you've got to answer is, what is the basis for the value of a human life? And I would argue the basis of your value is you're not an accident. You're a human being created in the image of God, and meaning by that, you are created to reflect God's character, to reflect God's goodness, to reflect God's love, to reflect God's forgiveness, to reflect God's integrity, honesty, and faithfulness.
Yep, that was the one I saw earlier. That popped up when I was looking. That's funny.
I'm like that one. When it showed up, I'm like, I have to pick it because it explains it so good.
No, yeah.
And he explains it so good.
Yeah, that really is good. I do like that one.
I see his teaching, like him teaching out in public a lot.
Yeah, I've seen him recently. I don't know. I couldn't.
I'm like, I have no idea who his name is, what his name is, but.
Yeah, but I have seen him start to pop up more, which I don't know. Maybe I'll learn his name at some point. Yeah, I should do that. All right, let's try. You want a wild one?
Yeah, let's do a wild one.
Alexandria Hayden.
Listen, counsel,
with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, what is happening now is you are limiting what I can do with my vagina. First of all, you dictated where I could take a number 2. You tried to tell me that, I couldn't go in a woman's restroom. But now you have Governor Abbott saying that I can't have an abortion. I can have an abortion. You have to take your hands off my vagina right now. You do not own my uterus. The uterus is mine. It is a clump of cells in there. We need to take that clump of cells and destroy it like this paper. Just take the clump because it has no life. It has no meaning. That's what is inside my body. But Governor Abbott is trying to get inside here and trying to dictate what you're doing with my body. You don't own my body. Governor Abbott doesn't own my body. I deserve same access to an abortion. You know that. I know that. I want an abortion now, and I want it right now and then. That's what I want. I want an abortion. You don't control my uterus. You're trying to say I can't get an abortion. That is a crime. I want to the clump of cells in my uterus, and you're trying to stop me. And you know what? I get raped all the time. I'm very sexy. People put some in my drink all the time, and then you
Yeah.
That one is crazy.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Like how he starts off by saying, like, it's like, first you're dictating where I get to go number 2. Yeah, I don't want you in the same bathroom as my sister.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry to break it to you, bud.
Yeah, he goes ballistic. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, I should say, if she's got a vagina, then my bad. I should be saying she. Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
When he just starts screaming, I just want an abortion. It's like, dude, who was ever like
that?
If it's just like any other medical procedure, has anybody ever just ran around screaming like, I want a colonoscopy. I want my kidney removed. Like I don't think anyone has ever like
said that.
Yeah. He just gets so fired up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that complete wild.
Just
that one particular, I'm just like,
it's going crazy.
She starts off and she's like, that I can't be in the same bathroom. No, you don't. No, just something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on a lighter note, let's see what you got.
Yeah, this one's actually lighter.
Okay, cool.
Why are you pro-life?
It's important that we protect those who don't have the ability to speak for themselves.
I am here to stand up for life and women's rights. I have always been pro-life because I believe that every life matters from conception until the tomb.
I'm one of 15. I'm the 10th child. I could have been aborted. You know, without life, we have no other rights or existence.
Anytime we take any human being and call them less human or less than human, it has never worked out well for society.
The bedrock of our civilization is whether a human person has inviolable dignity. And that principle was undermined, it was destroyed in Roe v. Wade. And so if we don't defend that principle, we won't have any liberties at all.
It's good that we have all these young men out here. I'm an older guy, but it's nice to see that the pro-life movement is getting younger and younger each year.
So why is it important as young men to be involved in the pro-life movement?
Men have a really big part in the movement because to make a child is both men and woman issue, and men have just as equal right to have the child as the woman does, even though it's in her body.
True masculinity is caring for those that are most vulnerable, and that starts in the womb. Men are to protect life. If we are supposed to protect society, it starts with life. Life is the foundation of a good society, and as men, it's our duty to protect that.
That was wholesome. Was that Brett Cooper?
Yes. I had to pick it mainly because Jamie was in it.
Little Jamie cameo. I saw that and I was like, hey, wait, we know her.
That's why I mainly chose it, because I was like, it's Jamie. How could I not?
Gosh. Now I'm kind of like, what year did that come out?
I know.
Was Brett Cooper at the March for Life and I missed her? I've been going for quite a few years. I'm kind of bummed now.
Yeah, now I'm wondering if she was.
I was a young man at the March for Life. You could have come and talked to me.
It almost well, no, it would have been at the March for Life. I was like thinking maybe it's like one of the smaller marches, but I'm like, it would probably be the March for Life.
Yeah.
Thinking in my head.
Man, also, side note, when she starts talking to like all the guys, like, now, isn't there something like obviously, I'm a dude, so I can't say for all the women. I feel like there's something in a sense that like women, wouldn't you want to date like a pro-life guy? Wouldn't you want to date a guy that like wants to like support your children and stuff like that? I feel like there's just someone who wants to make sure that your children are provided for and won't leave you because of children.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Want a good
I
husband.
agree.
Date a
agree
pro-life
on
guy.
I agree on that. I definitely want someone who would support my kids.
Yeah.
And not totally worry about them abandoning us or
cheating.
cheating.
Or giving the ultimatum of either you abort the child or...
Yes, or...
It's emotional manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's do maybe one or two more of each. Let's try this one.
Does nobody talk about how hard abortions are on a woman? It's probably been a month. And I hate myself every day. It sucks because in the moment I felt like I was doing the right thing. But every time I'm going to bed or I'm just alone, I just think about like, what if? Because I'm not a child, like I'm an adult, so this shit just like hit me on a different level. I had all the means in the world to do it on my own. But I thought like I did it so that it would benefit not just me, but also everyone else. And I'm just so broken. I didn't even get the chance to like be at home or anything. Like I just went to work. And I just want this to be over with already. Like I'm emotionally drained. I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
You would be shocked how many times one of videos like this showed up.
Really?
Of my abortion experience. And how many women, actually every single one that I saw popped up and said, I regret it. I hate myself. I feel so incredibly guilty that I did this. Like every single one that popped up like that. And I had at least like 6 pop up like that.
It's stuff that's very easily ignored. Not because like if you see it, obviously you can't ignore it. But like, excuse me, hurt does come from it. And that can't be overlooked. Like why are they hurting? Because a quote unquote clump of cells was removed. No, you don't mourn over that. You didn't mourn over the possibility of a child. You mourned over because you realized what happened, and and that there's no bringing your child back.
It's just so heavy.
It is.
A lot of women don't realize it. But then, I mean, I see videos on here, on TikTok, when I look it up and I scroll, and I see so many of these women who record their abortion experience, even some that even have kids.
Yeah.
And they're like, what if I had another one running around?
Yeah, and you can't just bring that child back. It's like even if you have another kid someday, that's not the same thing because it was a different person.
I had to put that one in there because I'm like, I just saw so many.
Gosh, now I'm like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can go to something that's not like saddening. Let's try a funny one.
Let's try a funny one.
I don't think I agree. I don't agree, but I think it's. I've never heard this argument before.
Oh.
You have to stop being straight. Straight sex is the #1 cause for abortions. And that's not what God wanted. But you can choose your sexuality. So choose gay for the babies.
I
saw one of those with Kristen Hawkins, where lady was like, do you want the amount of gay sex to go up so that girls don't have abortions anymore, so that the rate of abortions go down? And they're like,
what?
Astonished.
It's like, what are you talking
They're
about?
like, what do you mean?
They're like, do you want the population to stop growing 100% that way? This never happens again.
So that no abortions happen ever?
Also, like, now I was just going to say right at the end, she says you can choose your sexuality. I thought that was something you were born with and couldn't be changed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone ought to cancel that. Actually, I was listening to Michael Knowles on the drive here.
Michael Knowles.
Isn't he terrific? Yeah, I like to consider, like, have you ever heard, like, Matt Walsh, how his fans are like the Sweet Baby Gang?
Oh, yeah.
And you have Michael Knowles, the creme of the creme,
Yes.
which I think is hilarious. I like to consider myself a member of the creme of the creme. But he was talking about how this video came out about these people who were talking to, this is going to change topics very quickly, but we're getting to it. Pornhub. They were interviewing senior executives at Pornhub.
Oh, really?
And they were talking about how sometimes they'll sneak in stuff that a little bit of gay stuff or trans stuff into their videos to get people hooked on this, and then it messes with their minds and they look for it. And people always want to talk about how no, you're just born this way. You can't change. Well, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
And Pornhub openly said that they do it this way to try to switch people's thinkings. That way they get hooked even more so, which it's that's crazy.
I do say that a lot of people learn about these different sexualities and all that jazz. It's very subject change for a second.
You're fine.
They find stuff about their sexualities, like bisexuality, pansexual. They find all this stuff.
What's the difference?
The difference. Bisexual is they like boys and girls. Pansexuality means that you like everybody. That's what it you wouldn't mind dating anybody.
Last I checked, boys and girls fills those categories.
Yeah, but you got to get the non-binaries in there.
Okay.
But
anyway.
You learn most of all of that from social media. At least that's where I learned it, was social media. And I know most people, you don't learn that from your parents.
Yeah.
Most parents are like, what is this?
Yeah.
What does this even mean? And so that cues that it's social media influencing us, teaching us about what these things are. And so then you get curious and you keep scrolling through more and you're like...
You dig deeper and deeper.
And you dig deeper and then it starts changing your mind and then you start getting manipulated a little bit and then you're like, maybe I am bi.
Yeah. Maybe. Why not?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I think girls are pretty.
I do. I think girls are very pretty.
Anyway, back to this.
All right. Let's maybe do...
It's our little 2 cents.
Let's maybe do one more, we'll say. Do you have a good one you like?
I don't know.
This one's another Kristen.
The one at top is very short.
The one way at top?
No.
Oh.
The one that you're about to click on.
This one?
Yeah, that one's very short. So if we want to do that one, do one of yours, and then do that last one with Kristen.
Okay.
This one.
Oh, wow, you're right. That wasn't short.
That was very short.
Also, naturally, it's going to look different after it's been, mingled up and pulled out.
But that even wasn't...
That's not the same age, too.
That wasn't even a baby. That was literally tissue.
Does it,
That wasn't even a picture of, an aborted baby or anything. That was literally just,
Oh, that wasn't
skin
a picture?
tissue.
Oh.
The first one was an actual baby and what it looks like in your uterus. The second one was just skin tissue.
Lovely.
It was not I thought it made a very quick little point.
Yeah. All right, let's try. This one has a lot longer to talk about. So we'll do this one briefly. Okay.
We'll do this one.
Just to be clear, the irony of all the abortion bills is the complete lack of male inclusion. Women do not magically become pregnant. There is a man attached to every single abortion. Why aren't men being included in jail time for abortion? Because it isn't about abortion. It's about men controlling women. If it were actually about abortion, we would be discussing early and continuing sex education, free birth control, and health care for all, making childcare financially feasible, mandatory parental leave, increasing WIC, hard sentencing for rape, fixing the foster care system, and making adoption more accessible. This is not about abortion, so don't fool yourselves.
Where to begin?
Yeah.
You always hear those when people well, you can't be pro-life until you fix this, and that, and that.
Yeah.
It's I have only so much time. I can only do one issue at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And
it makes that second point of If you're in a cancer association or a diabetes association, you only focus on cancer and diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't focus on other illnesses. Like cancer can't focus on cancer and diabetes. Same thing with diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
You only have time to focus on one thing.
She also mentions the jail time thing for like she's like, well, should men be included in the jail time for abortions? First of all, you don't go to jail. Actually, the pro-life movement it's never about sending the women to jail.
Mm-hmm.
It's the abortionists.
Yeah.
People who are actually committing, because the woman is a second victim.
Mm-hmm.
The woman is often not educated enough and doesn't know what she's getting herself into. The doctors know. The doctors went to medical school. They know all about it. They know exactly what they're doing when they're doing that. They see the aborted fetuses and babies. Whether it be 8 weeks, 20 weeks, 30 weeks, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
They've seen it. They're the ones actually intentionally doing the other. Like the woman's confused. Also, why would you? The men aren't the ones who make that decision. That's like saying because a man helped make a baby, then it was like 2 years later. Like let's say the wife and the husband are separated, and the wife decides to kill the child, and then they put the man in jail. What?
Yes.
Makes no sense. But we're not advocating for women to go to jail. Like absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
They often don't know what they're getting themselves into. It's the abortionists that know exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. And then she mentioned, sorry, I just want to,
No,
I want to do a little tidbit into our next episode, actually. Free birth control. How she mentioned accessing free birth control. We're going to have a new episode come out, and we are getting on a lady. Her name is Wendy M. She is a Nat Pro educator. I think that's what I say. Yeah, Nat Pro and natural family planning educator. There is a natural way to plan or avoid pregnancy. Like there's a whole natural way. You do not need any like condoms, go on the pill. You don't need to do that. There is a natural way to do all of that. And in our next, probably not our next one, but an upcoming episode, she will be on here speaking about it and teaching us a little more about it. And so hopefully more women will know that they don't need to go on the pill or they don't need to use condoms. So.
Yep.
I heard mention that.
Awesome. And with that, you all have a merry rest of your Christmas season and a happy new year.
Hope you had
we'll
fun.
give a special thanks to Holy Family Radio for having us once again.
Thank you.
And our tech guy for doing a fantastic job as he always does.
Good job.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. If you want to see something in the future videos, whether it be a specific part of it addressed or, just if you want to see it, just tell us.
I also want to mention real fast that we actually have social medias now. We have Facebook and we have Instagram. I think those are the only two we have at the moment.
Yep.
But we're constantly updating those. So keep an eye out. You can even comment there if you have any questions, concerns, stuff you want to talk about, recommendations, anything like that. You
Awesome.
can do that on there.
Well, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
God bless.
Bye.